Welcome to another episode of Vice Tribe, where we teach, reach, inspire, bridge, and empower the community here on WTTR Radio. I'm your host, Hefe JP. I'm here Saturdays 5 to 7. Thank you for tuning in to Vibe with Vice Tribe. Today we got a special guest in the building, and it just happens to be his birthday. We got fashion designer Miah with Miah Urban Apparel. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yes.
Good. How you doing today?
I'm good. Hanging in there, but I'm good.
That's what's up. It's your birthday. You what, 23 now? 23. Wow. What I would kill to be 20. I don't know if I would kill to be 23, but I think I might want to,
You liked it that year?
If I would go back, I would try, because I'm about to be 34, so you like, yeah. So
okay. You don't look 34 though. Okay, you look good for your age.
Thank you.
Up.
I appreciate it. I try to take good care of myself.
Right.
So.
Well, when that time I get there, I still like this.
That's what's up. So it's your birthday. Is it still Aquarius season? Pisces. Okay.
First day.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but I'm like right between though, because I got a little bit of Aquarius trait.
Yeah, that first day be like.
Yeah, I was literally born at midnight, so it's like I just made it.
Okay. At midnight, yeah.
I just made it.
So what's your birthday plans? What you got going on?
So
besides spending part of that with me.
Right. So yeah, this is part of my birthday plans, and then later on I'm going to dinner. I'm actually going to the Orient Steakhouse.
Okay.
Have you heard of that before?
I have.
So I have. Fancy restaurant. So hopefully I get some sea bass or like some chops or something like that. And then I'm probably gonna go out to the club or something like that.
You got a party going on, right?
Yeah. It's a little something going on with that, but
okay.
It's up in the air right now.
Okay, but needless to say, you still gonna go out and party and turn up.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try to make the best of it at the end of the day.
That's what's up. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, today with Miah, we're gonna be talking about his fashion lines, his fashion show, and then we're gonna get into some vices. We're gonna talk love, family, and if we have time, we'll probably talk about LGBT. And I got some other miscellaneous questions revolving around fashion that I want to talk to him about. So,
Hi, the CEO.
Yes, Urban Apparel. So tell me how you got your start in fashion.
Okay, so I began in 2017. This was right after I graduated high school. I really didn't know what exactly I wanted to do leaving from high school, but I knew that I had a passion. Actually, my first passion wasn't fashion.
Okay.
Truth be told.
Okay.
My first passion was actually writing.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to be the next Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be the next Tyler Perry. I wanted to do like movies and scripting and plays and stuff like that. I actually, like, in grade school, I used to I used to is it still?
No, you good.
Okay. I used to like write plays in school and produce them literally like in elementary school.
Okay,
so that was like writing and even producing like my own like little shorts, films and stuff like that. I used to do a lot of those types of things like back when I was younger and like going through school. But when you get older, you kind of switch.
About 5 to 10 times.
Yeah, so
I did that too.
Coming into the fashion world industry, if you want to say, growing up, I really didn't have a lot. I didn't have like all of the nice clothes or shoes or everything like that. I was always like the other kid that didn't have it all. So I just knew I always had a thing for dressing, even though I couldn't always have what I wanted. So it humbled me because, like, my mom, she was a single mom. She didn't really could afford a lot of the things that I wanted, but when I could get those things, then I had them. So once I did get more into growing the passion for it, I just was like, I really didn't get to have a lot of things that I wanted, so I'm gonna make my own stuff and I'm gonna have to wear my stuff.
Okay.
And then, stamp. So that was like the background of coming into it, but I always had a second passion for fashion, and I used to draw and sketch, so it just kind of tied into it all and made it more easier to kind of like, okay, I can do this.
Okay.
So yeah, I started in 2017. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like a lost cause. And I'm not even gonna lie. I even look back to like some of my old like designs and stuff like my logos and stuff like that back in the day, and I used to be like, whew. I'm glad I came far than what I am for what I am today. But yeah, I started in 2017, and then I went to college for about a year. I went to college for business and entrepreneurship. So that taught me the business side of like having a clothing line and stuff like that, 'cause I didn't know anything. And then I took actually a couple years off to really get the knowledge. And then I moved here in 2018, and in 2019, I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Okay, because you moved here from New York?
Yeah, Rochester, New York.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
585. So
Okay.
I moved here and I got straight into school. And is it still?
No, you good. I was checking something.
Okay. Once I got into school, I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, like I said, for fashion.
Okay.
And
the
so,
campus in Sandy Springs or Perimeter?
Sandy Springs, right over there. It's a pretty dope school. It's like really creative. Like you're around all kind of different creators and people that do the same thing or something similar. So it's like really like a home, like for the kind of people that you need to be around.
Okay.
So
it's expensive too.
Yeah,
But you gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah, I had a little financial aid,
Right.
But I actually stopped. I'm trying to actually think about going back, but that's kind of in the near future.
Okay.
But yeah, I went there and I actually got the more experience of like being into the fashion world and like actually working on stuff and working with other people and stuff like that. And I made a lot of connections and networks, but at that time I was getting ready to relaunch my brand. So coming into 2020, I stopped going to school.
Okay.
And then coming into 2020, I actually relaunched my brand.
Okay.
And I had a big like relaunch party in Rochester when I went back home. And then after that, we sold out, like I sold 100 t-shirts that year. Like once I relaunched, I sold 100 t-shirts throughout the course of once I relaunched. And then after that, it just, everything started going from there.
Okay, nice. And your brand is called Miah Urban Apparel.
Yes, sir.
And what does Miah stand for?
Miah stands for, obviously, it's like the ending part of Jeremiah, so my name is Jeremiah.
But it's also an acronym.
But it's also an acronym, Make It a Hustle.
Okay.
So AKA Make It a Hustle. So where the name came from for me was, so Jeremiah isn't my first name. My first name is Dejan, right?
Okay.
But growing up, people used to call me Jeremiah, like the singer.
Okay.
I don't know why.
They think you look like him or something?
I don't know why they thought I used to look like him. I never seen it, but they used to call me that.
I can see it a little bit. And
You
he's
do?
He's chocolate. I can see it just a little bit. Maybe
I
it's
hear a whole lot of
just
different
the
people.
chocolateness, but
But see, now today, I either look like Tusi or I look
Okay.
like Tory Lanez or I look like Safari. I look like everybody. But like at that time, when I was just coming up into like my teen years, when I first got on Facebook and social media, I put my name up there as that, so it just stayed there. And then when I got into like high school and stuff like that, I'm like, well, call me this, and people just started calling me that. So when I got to like my later years in high school, I kind of got a little bit more popular in the city. So it just stuck with me. And so when it came time for me to launch my brand, it was like, oh well, I want something that's gonna stand out, that means something to me, to represent me. So hey, my Urban Apparel. Make It a Hustle didn't really come into play into my relaunch year, which was 2020.
Okay.
So it started with Miah Apparel.
okay.
And then I added the urban in there. And then once I got to 2020, I made the acronym. I put the acronym into the name because I wanted something else to kind of like represent, to relate to other people and stuff like that. Because at some point I thought the name was just kind of like overrated.
Okay.
Everybody has like their name and something apparel, something that's gonna stand out that people can say, oh, okay, Make It a Hustle. Okay, I'm a hustler, So that's how that came about.
And connect more with the brand.
Yeah. So and it worked because it got me a little further, in, like connections and stuff like that with people. So that's how the name came about for the brand. So
Okay, cool, nice. Okay, so tell me about your No Love Laws, your Valentine's Day collection. So I'm assuming it's already been released, considering Valentine's Day has passed.
Yes, I released it on the 5th.
Okay.
And as of the day after Valentine's Day, the 15th, we sold out.
Okay, nice.
So shout out to that.
That's what's
And
up.
shout out to everybody who shot with me on that. It was literally like, it was just bizarre because I dropped it on the 5th. It was only out for a few days, and then once Valentine's Day came,
It was gone.
the next morning I woke up, sold out. I was like, wow. So it's not the first time that I've sold out. on a collection, but it's the most fastest selling collection that I've put out on my website. I have a hard time, I can say this honestly, I have a hard time keeping my website consistent.
Okay.
So I put a lot of time to like making sure that my website can be up and active for people to shop. And so once I did that, I definitely can see the growth in like my marketing skills and like my social media platform overall, and just like the way that I, you know, promote and market my brand overall. So the website, you know, I put it out there and the people went crazy.
Okay. How many pieces was in the collection?
So I did 15 hoodies and then I did 20 t-shirts.
Okay.
So everything is gone.
Okay.
So now we go on to the next re-up era.
Right, and
Coming
then
soon.
is next, is that the Black History Collection, or is that out right now too?
Well, because
that is 2 collections in a month, like that is February too.
So I was gonna originally do that. Once I put out the No Love Lost collection, I was like, okay, maybe I should kind of do something for Black History Month too, since I'm doing something for Valentine's Day. I feel like it was only right, because I was literally sitting at work one day. I worked at the security for Kroger.
Okay.
At the distribution center.
Okay.
So they had this big, like, it's almost like the size of that rug on the wall.
Okay.
And it's this big screen, and it had like different Black History Month stuff on it and colors. And I was just sitting there like, my creative juices started flowing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think I should make some t-shirts. But I put it out there, like I put like a little sample that I made, because I make everything on my own. I manufacture my own things. So I put it out there, and you know, people, I got a couple decent responses to it, but it was just a lot in the process of putting the No Love Lost collection out and then trying to, you know, put that out. It was just a lot. So everybody was more focused on the No Love Lost collection, which was fine.
Right.
Because that was the month for it.
Right.
But I was like, you know, let me just slow down. It's okay. If I miss this month, I got next year I can focus on, because I don't really have a reason to put another Valentine's Day collection out.
Okay.
And I can do Black History Month collection,
Okay.
you know, so
Yeah.
it's okay. I didn't put it out, but you know, we got other things coming up soon, so.
That's what's up. So,
Yeah.
Are you working on your summer collection now? Is that the next collection you got going on?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So this is gonna be, so what I do is when I drop collections, I always put a name to it.
Okay.
So for this year, 2022, I really feel like this is like my re-up era.
Okay.
Like last year, I got my LLC,
Okay.
and that's like a milestone for me, because I've been
Okay.
doing it since 2017.
Okay.
From where I didn't even have anything like legal behind it. I just had a name and a thought and a design. And so like from there going on, from when I started going to school to learn about these things and like get the knowledge for it, went to business classes for it, didn't finish, but I got something out of it. Then I moved here to actually get into like the fashion, like school life and that, you know, experience as well. It just all helped shape, you know, me into the entrepreneur that I am now. And now I was able to release and relaunch, and now we're here. So I always put a title to everything that I drop. So coming soon, my original brand colors is red, black, and white.
Okay.
So the last, like I said, 2020 I relaunched, and I had my original colors, and I sold 100 t-shirts. After that, I started putting out more different colors and like different, you know, stuff like that. So I took a break from the OG colors. So now I'm like, this time, you know, I got a new logo since I put out the last OG colors. And my newer logo was actually more attention grabbing than the first.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to put back out the OG colors and like let people know we still here. Y'all can still, you know, get the OG colors and the signature. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm calling this the re-up era because, I mean, I feel like as far as getting to where I am now, I manifested a lot of things for where I am now.
All right. So let's talk about this pop-up touring that you got. When's the?
Yes. So I really want to start this year. I want to take this like way over the top, and I see a lot of other brands do it, like bigger brands, obviously. But I figure like, you know, why not start now? Because it'll only promote the growth of it for me. But I want to start this year at least as small as going to some, you know, a few like different cities around like this area, outside of Georgia, like Miami or South Carolina, Charlotte, you know, anywhere around those areas.
You can do vending at these festivals or wherever they have, like, just where you can have multiple vendors and come shop.
Yeah, or even just like, I even go on like Eventbrite and look up like different pop-up shops in different cities and like see what they have available or open in months to come and kind of like see if I can get into it beforehand. Yeah. So for me to start now, I would probably choose maybe 3 cities. Yeah. I actually have something going on already in June. I can't speak too much on it at the moment, but it's something in relation to that.
Okay. But my first city that I wanted to go to was Miami. Miami is just so lit. I've never been to Miami. Okay. And I seen like this other brand, I forgot the name, but I was watching their story and like they had just went up to Miami just to promote the brand, and like everybody was just like really rocking with them on the streets, like just just everywhere. And I was like, dang, I need to go to Miami. Yeah. So I think that might be one of the first places I go. And obviously once I get more into it, then I will get more into going around different places all around the world, whatever the case may be. But I want to start at least this year, even if I go to one city and just get the feeling of it, or 2 cities and get the feeling of it. Just to get my feet in the door, and then next year I want to try to plan to make it a thing. Okay. Like at least pick 3 or 4 to 5 places to go, and honestly, I want to get to the point where I can just not go to work and just do this. Yeah, yeah. And I actually tried the whole stop and work and focusing on my brand, and it worked for a little bit. Obviously, I had to go back, get myself back together. But last year, after I got my LLC, I took a month off. This was right before I released my spring collection. I took a month off from working, and I had got my grant. Okay. So it kind of put me in a situation where I didn't have to go back to work for a little while, and I did everything I needed to do for the brand, and it was dope. I did a lot of pop-up shops. I went and did a lot of pop-up parties. I did a lot of networking and investing heavily on that, and so it worked out. But with the pop-up touring, I definitely want to get to a point after I get my feet in the door to where I don't have, this is what I do to make money. Yeah. But not only just make money gonna come, but to bring the brand awareness and get to meet different people and get more people involved with what I got going on. And I think I would rock it out. I don't think I have a problem with it. I don't think I would have any worries about it, because me organically, I'm a gravitating person. Yeah, yeah. And so I just think it'd be really dope, and it honestly helped me grow a lot just doing that, because I'm going to different places and getting my brand out there in different cities, different places. So we're gonna try to start this year, and if we don't start this year, we definitely gonna start it next year. So that's my ideas for that.
Okay, and then what about the fashion show? Because pop-up shops, they will work well at your fashion show too.
Right. So I'm actually working with a friend or a few, and we literally in the beginning process of trying to plan it out. Okay. So we actually are gonna meet up with like a event coordinator one of these days to really help us organize it. But the idea is to maybe have like an outside fashion show event. Yeah. And because inside is kind of typical, but push come to shove, if the weather not right, we always gotta back up. Okay, so that's the thing about that. But so I want to do that. We were trying to do it around. Well, we would like to do it sometime maybe between April and June. Realistically, time. You need time to plan stuff like this. Budgeting, all of that. So that's why we're gonna, first course of action is to sit down with an event coordinator and get all of the things laid out so we can go about it. So if that turns into however long it takes, then that's fine. We're not worried about that. Yeah. Because we want it to actually be like a big event. Like we were talking about bringing out people from media, bringing out some influencers, bringing out some artists, all kind of people, and even making it a pop-up shop for other people to kind of bring their brands and businesses to it too. So it's not just like a sit and wait for the show. Right. You kind of explore around, see different people, what they got going on, and then we want to try to have artists come and perform and then put out the show, and then maybe do a back and forth. and get a few different designers. So it's a lot of things you're trying to do. So first course of action is just trying to get everything planned out, budgeted out, and see what the timing that we would need to get this to make it actual, you know, perfect and stuff like that. So.
Okay, well, if you need a model, I'm here. Fashion
Okay.
show, photo shoot. I would love to
Okay.
be a part of it.
You had to come to the casting call when we do it.
Okay. Just let me know, and I'll be watching too. So
Okay,
definitely, I
yeah,
would
stay
love to.
tuned, stay tuned.
So who is your target customer? Do you have a target market?
Okay, so I feel like for me, I feel like it has changed. Well, no, not that it has changed, but I see more of who it is now that I'm more into like making sales on like a day-to-day type of thing.
Right, you can see the analytics.
I can see, right, my analytics, and I see everything in my website, my ads, so I can see like who's paying more attention, who's visiting my website, who's even engaging in my Instagram or whatever, my business page, whatnot.
It might help you too with the pop-ups. Like if you can see where they live at, you know where like
Right.
Right.
Because when I first dropped the No Love Lost collection on my website, when I went to my Shopify app, because it shows you like who's visiting like around the globe. It'll show you like a globe and like pinpoint out like who's in what cities on the website, and it was actually around the South area, like Greensboro, South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, all around that area. It was like people that was watching, I was visiting. So just to say, from looking at my social media engagement,
Yeah.
I would say my target market would probably be between honestly the LGBT community, QIA community, as well as women.
Okay.
Because I started making like women custom stuff back when I first started. I was like bleaching shirts and painting t-shirts, and it was a lot. It was actually a mess. But for what it was in the moment, it was dope.
But you learn from it,
And I learned from it.
your
And I learned
mistakes.
from it. And I had support. Like I had my first ever photo shoot was in a basement. It was in my friend's basement. My friend, she's a makeup. I had a friend who's a makeup artist. She was doing the makeup, and it was just a friend. Like it was all just supporting each other. So I had like these long distressed dresses with Miah Apparel on it when it was that, and like ripped up crop top. It was just a lot. I used to do those type of stuff. So women kind of gravitated towards my brand first in the beginning.
Yeah.
And once I got more advanced in designing and like, hand making stuff and just being more into it, then I got a lot more women to be involved.
Okay.
As far as that, now once I moved to Atlanta and actually like got out here in like the scenes and like anytime I go out, most of the time when you see me, if you see me, you're gonna see me with something on from my brand, a t-shirt, a hoodie, a jeans, something. So that kind of grew my platform a little bit because I'm in the city and I'm in the scene. So
Right.
a lot of my followers now are within the community. So I would say that those two groups of people will probably be like my main target market.
Okay.
But that's not to say that I want that to stay there. Because I want everybody to feel like they can shop with me. I don't want, even the straight people to feel like they can't shop with me.
Okay.
Because I noticed that. I pay attention to that. So with this re-up era, I actually have this visual in mind where I want to incorporate everybody.
Okay.
So straight guys, gay guys, straight women, gay women, whoever. And just make it like a dope visual to where it's like, okay, I need to tap into this. Like, I could shop with him,
Right,
because it's not like I only cater to certain people, but certain people gravitate towards my brand more than others.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's normal. You're gonna have that because you're gonna have a certain people that gravitate towards you than others. But I just want people to know that anybody can shop with me. It's for everybody.
Right.
Everything is unisex. Like I always say in my drops, everything is unisex. So that's where I'm at with that.
Because it's your birthday. What's your drink of choice?
Well, I like Henny and Coke.
Okay.
That'd be like my first go-to, and then if not Henny and Coke, you ever heard of a Blue Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
Blue
I'm
Mother?
not-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the club, I like to get either that or a Long Island.
Okay.
That will put you on your neck. Okay.
Every time.
But typically I like Henny. If I want to get really, really wasted, then I'll go as far as like Remy and
1942? Is that 1942 or is that?
Remy is like
Cognac?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not a big drinker anyway.
Okay.
But when it comes to my birthday, I'm with it all. So I'm gonna drink whatever comes my way. But as far as like my personal bottle, you give me a bottle of Henny and I'll be okay.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, it is February Black History Month. So who's your favorite person in Black History? Do you have a specific person that you put above others when it comes to Black History?
I wouldn't say that necessarily, because I don't think anyone is above anyone in that aspect, because anybody that has had an influence in that way that we look up to as an influencer in those types of ways, have their own story or their own, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't necessarily will put anybody ahead or above, but as far as me, I looked at this Martin Luther King quote that I was gonna put and incorporate into a t-shirt. So I guess Martin Luther King would be like my person for the month if I was to do that. But the quote stood out to me. It was, it said, let me see, I can pull it up. It actually said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. So that stood out to me because I was telling like my supporters and like telling like social media, like, you know, even like within entrepreneurship or just anything that you want to do, or whether it's whatever it is, you might not know exactly how to do it, but just do it.
Okay. Right.
A lot of people tend to lack in just going for something and have like more of a fear of not knowing how to do something.
They get in their own head.
Yeah, it really be in their head, and it's like it's normal because I used to be that way.
I did too.
I think everybody is that way in some type of way. But
even I still have like issues where I get in my head.
We human, we're not perfect, and it definitely is true. But I just feel like if you don't take any initiative to do something, you're not gonna ever get nowhere. So the longer you sit back and just think about it and like, ooh, I don't know if I should do this, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna make a mistake. Mistakes are supposed to teach you. So if you let a mistake kind of just, or a mistake that could possibly be a mistake, just kind of keep you from doing something, then that's like you're eliminating yourself from whatever it is you want to do or getting better at something. So coming from my experience, I used to be that way, but once I started to, like I said in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing with the clothing stuff. I had no idea on like business parts. I just knew I could draw, I knew I could sketch, I knew I liked clothes, and I knew I had a name. Like that was it. So when I first started out and I first put certain things out as far as like putting out a brand, I did, flop a little bit. I made some mistakes, I failed a few things. I even had like people who didn't believe in what I was doing. I had a lot of negative, aspects around that. People telling me that it was not gonna be this, be that, a whole lot of stuff around that. Instead of letting that fear me and stop me from doing what I wanted to do, I just let that push me. I have this thing where like I feel like how I take negative feedback or energy or anything around that, negative vibes, whatever it is, I use that and I apply it and put pressure towards it. Like, okay, well, you don't think I can do this, but I'm going to show you that I can do this.
Right.
And just because you think I can't do this doesn't mean that somebody else don't think I can do this, or even it doesn't matter what people think about you at the end of the day. As long as you know you can do it and you push your mind to, you can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
So just having that mindset, I think I was already ahead of myself. So and at those times, so it just pushed me and it helped me get where I am today. So where, even if I put something out right now and it don't sell out, I dropped some track suits like a couple months ago and it didn't sell. But I had other aspects around that as to why it didn't, but I knew that, but people didn't know that. But it didn't stop me from doing anything else. It just stopped me from saying like, okay, I'm not gonna let this just eat me alive and just say, damn, I can't do anything else. No, it's just I had to go back to the drawing board and, work harder. So back to the MLK, that quote stood out to me because it really applied to what I do and applied to like what I stand for. So as far as Black History Month, I feel like it was really meaningful because Martin Luther King himself, he took the initiative. He did the march. He didn't care what this person, that person, or these white folks, or whatever you want to say, felt about it. And even though he didn't get all of the positivity, towards what he was doing in his movement. He got enough of what he was supposed to. He got the people that he was speaking to get on board, and look where we are today. So Martin Luther King will be my person of the month as far as this year's Black History Month.
Okay, cool. All right, so in regards to love, what's your love language? Let's start there.
Love language. When you say love language, so like you mean like what?
So you ever taken a love language quiz before?
No, I haven't.
So
but
no,
go ahead.
There's 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 love languages. It might be 5, but I know it's physical touch, acts of service,
okay,
words of affirmation, and quality time. So it's 4.
Okay, I did see that. I googled that, and I did see that. So you want me to go through like the
Just
4?
what do you know your top? Do you, without taking it, I'm sure you probably can guess, like out of the 4, which do you like receiving gifts? Do you like people doing things for you? Do you like spending time with somebody? Or do you like physical touch? Like, do you show love in a physical, touchy way? It ain't gotta be sexual, but just like cuddled up, or you might pull somebody's ear.
Okay, so I'll say this. I'll kind of touch on a few of those. So, from experience, when it comes to people doing stuff for me, I'm not the type of person that cares about what you do for me unless it has, something to do with like an emotional connection.
Okay.
Because you can spend money, you can give the people out, you can give somebody out till you die, and that doesn't mean anything if you don't have an emotional connection.
Right.
So, I guess you can eliminate that out of my love language, because you're gonna do that anyway if you want to. I can do it, you can do it. It's like it's nothing.
You don't equate love with that.
Yeah, and like for me, I would just say overall, words of affirmation. Affirmation would be my top one.
Okay.
Because I feel like communication is the biggest thing. When you don't have communication or respect, you really don't have anything. But communication is the biggest thing. So with communication, words of affirmation is like one of the top things, because a good morning text can go a long way.
Yeah.
A good afternoon text within the middle of the day can go a long way. A good night text on the phone, like, talking on the phone, talking about your day, opening up, or even like, I don't know, creative stuff like playing 21 questions, or like anything that's getting to know somebody.
Right.
In those ways, or hey beautiful, good morning, like hey, stuff like that. Like I've had an experience where like I would sit in a room and it just be dead silence.
Oh, I hate this.
And like I'll be looking at myself, or we look at each other like we crazy, like what's going on. So a lot of that played into how I identify with what I think my love language should be, and what I actually seen it for what it was in the moment of what I was going through, and what I feel like it should be going after that. So words of affirmation would be, I guess, my love language. Now, like I said, you can buy whatever you want to buy, you can spend a lot of whatever money that you want to, but in my experience, that has just not gotten nowhere, because you have people who will feel like because they did this and they spent this and they did all of this materialistic stuff that either you owe them something, or they feel like, well, here, this is what I did, so I'm good. Like I did what I had to do. If you're not matching up to that, then like, it's just like, that's not gonna get you anywhere with me, because like even now, like I can go on dates with people and they can spend money, and it's just like, okay, what else? Like that's nothing new. Like I can buy all my own stuff.
Right.
But if I don't have you on an emotional connection, or a deeper emotional level, or if I can't even have a conversation with you, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like the words of affirmation. You can call me pretty, beautiful, handsome, like stuff like that will make me really feel like, okay, I feel a little love in the air. I feel like somebody actually, paying attention to me, or even just paying attention to little stuff. Like some people, use social media to kind of grab people's attention. I do it sometimes too, I'm not gonna lie. I'll post like certain little stuff, like little stuff, not like directly towards somebody, and somebody individually, but it could be just a general thing, and then whoever takes it and says something towards it, or whatever the case may be, then I'm like, okay, well, I was trying to get your attention, but not in this way. But I'm glad I got your attention now that I have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. That words of affirmation for me is like my love language overall, the top one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So real quick, so the love and family. Like, are you a traditional type of love person? Do you really go hard for your family? Like, are you a family person? Are you big on family?
Not anymore. And I'm gonna tell you why. Well, let me rephrase that. I am big on family. That's not to say that everybody else is big on family.
True. Yeah.
Because I can be big on family, but that doesn't mean that everybody else around me is big on family or really, you know, support me how I support them in certain ways.
Yeah.
But to briefly touch on that, I have a very big family, like between like my mom's side, my dad's side. I have in-laws. I have in-laws here, there, all kind of family.
Okay.
So, and I'm from a small town. So, I feel like in the years of me becoming an adult, after I lost like a lot of like my elderly relatives, you know, those like the core of the family. When you lose those people, yeah, when you lose those people, it kind of like family falls off. I lost my grandfather at 11 years old, very young. I didn't understand at the time, so it made me like grow up a different way because he was my father figure. I didn't have my father. So even besides that, like my great grandmother, great uncles and aunts, like when those people go away, it's like family really just separates. So I grew up with cousins. I know people grow up with like siblings and stuff like that. I have siblings, but on my dad's side, I'm a single or only child on my mom's side. So growing up, I grew up with my cousins. So growing up into like my adult years, I didn't really have too much support from them like that. Not everybody, but a few. Or just even like family overall. And when I moved to Atlanta, yeah, family was just like, boop. But you know, that doesn't change me who I am, how I feel about family. That just means that I just created my own family. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So
he's in the building. Miah, who's your favorite designer and why?
Are we talking about like big design or just any?
It could be big or small.
Well, I would say as far as that, I follow a lot of designers. But the one that stands out to me the most is definitely, he goes by the name of Domo.
I've never heard that name before.
His name is Domo. His brand is called Faded NYC. He's a really like dope designer. He does like a lot of like creative mix and match, urban streetwear, a little bit like a rock star pop. You know, like he mixes and mingles with his designs, and he's one of my favorites. I've been following him for like years.
Okay.
And he definitely is one of my inspirations. You can follow him on Instagram. It's Faded NYC is his brand page, and then his main page is Domo Wilkins, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Faded NYC. Another. Well, as far as like, I would say inspirations in that aspect versus like my favorite designer, I would say a lot of pop artists like Pharrell, Kanye West.
You like their style? Kanye
Yeah,
West
like that
has
style.
some
Kanye, ASAP.
Okay.
Who else? Fabulous.
Pharrell, I like him.
Pharrell,
He
definitely
take a lot of risks.
Yes. It's taking the risk. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm taking the risk. I kind of, but I definitely have to like expand more on that. But that's definitely more like an inspiration vibe as far as like my favorite designers, or just whoever has like a style that I admire. Yeah.
Okay. I would. What about Dapper Dan? Like Dapper Dan?
Dapper Dan, yes, I love Dapper Dan. Yes, I love them. I even like the old brands. I used to be like back in the day, like the early 2000s, like Fubu or like Baby Fat. Like I feel like they need to bring some of them brands back. Even like Ed Hardy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was still on a good day. Like I plan out a Ed Hardy outfit, and that's like taking a risk because nobody wears that stuff anymore.
It's vintage now.
So yeah, so I tap back into stuff like that. I used to wear stuff like that back in the day.
What are some celebrities you like to work with or like see rocking your?
Well, as far as like with my brand, I definitely would love to get Tiana Taylor and like some of my stuff. 7th Streeter.
Okay.
Chris Brown.
No, I'm playing her next.
Yes, I love. Chris Brown, because he's real big in fashion and stuff like that. Even like Kylie Jenner, like the Kardashians. Like go big or go home.
I know that's right.
But like as far as like starting off smaller, where I feel like I can get to easier in that aspect, I would say like Lotto.
Okay.
Or Baby Tate.
Okay.
Kind of like smaller artists that are more prone, because I see a lot of them rocking different people brands and stuff like that. So I be like, okay, I can probably get them sooner or later. Even like Eric and Tay, Jonathan, like a lot of those like different urban celebrities, or Dream Doll, or a lot of people, a lot of those type of people.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about fashion design? Is it the visionary stage, the mood board, like getting the ideas? Is it the design? Is it the photo shoots, or is it the fashion show? What's your favorite? If you only could pick one, what's your favorite?
It's okay. So it's gonna be between the photo shoot aspect and then like the mood board, like the planning of it. Because I love to like so when I plan like an outfit out, even if it's just for myself, or if I plan like an outfit to put out. Or like a collection, I always start going to Pinterest. I start with Pinterest.
Okay.
Because Pinterest is very useful and very like inspiring. I be on Pinterest all day looking at people's outfits.
You can find anything on there.
Anything, anything. I always usually start with Pinterest, and then I kind of take stuff like that and either like make my own sketches, or I like make some pictures, print out pictures. A lot of people usually go to like magazines and stuff like that, but I don't always have access to magazines, so I use Pinterest.
Yeah.
Everything is on there. So
they're not as accessible as they used to be.
No, it's not. But it is good to have those. So I would even invest into having those just because. But I always go to Pinterest for stuff like that to get like a mood board created and stuff like that. I'll print out pictures and like draw sketches and like tweak stuff in my own way, and then just have it on a board. And then, like I said, it's between that and photo shoots. So I've done maybe 3-4 photo shoots within like my whole time of having my brand. And every time I do a photo shoot, it's always like a learning experience, because like I work with different people. I get different support with different, looks and different shoots every time I do one. And then like the brand always grows every time I do a shoot as well, because it's always after, time goes on. With the collection or whatnot. So like last year when I did my spring shoot, I had like this colorful vibe, and I had a lot of people in it. It was really dope. I had like colorful like smoke bombs in the area. We had like a photo shoot. We had it on a rooftop. We did like a little video for it. It was really dope. And like with this one,
was that outside too?
That was outside.
Okay, I think I've seen that.
That was outside. And shout out to Elijah Visuals, because he ate that up. And then like this one I did was in a studio, and it was condensed. But the learning lesson behind that one was sometimes you're gonna get people who may not show up. You're gonna get let down on certain things as far as with that. But like I said, it's always a learning experience, because you never know what to expect when it comes to doing photo shoots. Because with me, I've always been in my photo shoots, but this one I just did, I was like, okay, I want to just play director. I don't want to be in it. I just want to play boss man, just sit back and just make sure it, it's set up how I want it, and it goes how I want it to go. And it went really good. They did a good job. Did a really good job actually, and they really ran up the promo, like everybody was really, you know, tuned into this one. So this was like a really special one for me. But in the sense of like my favorite thing, I would have to say, I guess the mood part, like just being able to plan it, because planning like your own visual and bringing it to life is like nothing else can top that, because it's like what you envision in your head is like you bringing your thoughts to life, and then people, you know, depending on however you put it out or how you play it out, people either like it or they don't.
Right.
And it's just like a everlasting thing. Like I planned this out in my head, and now it's like in real life, and I can always see it. So I think that's like my favorite part of it.
Okay, cool.
Everybody's in the building. It's been a wonderful show. I'd like to say happy birthday again.
Thank
23.
you.
Wow. Oh my
Jordan.
gosh. Oh my gosh. 23. Jordan year.
It's lit.
It only gets better from here. It only gets better from
Yes,
here.
sir.
Or it should at least. So outside of the fashion show and some of your pop-up shows, what else you got going on for 2020 for your brand?
Well, 2022.
That's what I mean. I keep saying that.
I heard it a couple of times. I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing, but
And I said it
probably
in my
because I said
head.
it twice. I said it a bunch of times. I mentioned 2020 so much today, so you probably thought about it like that. Well, like I said earlier, I do have a project that I am about to start working on in June. I can't say what it is.
Okay, so more to come. So maybe we can come back and have that conversation.
Once I get closer to that time and can actually speak on it more, then we could definitely, you know, tip back in onto that. Other than that, definitely you're gonna see a fashion show with Miah and Apparel sometime this year. Back with the touring, you're gonna see me going somewhere, if not 2 or 3 places, to bring awareness to the brand. You're gonna see me doing that.
Yeah.
You might even see me doing other things, like I might model, I might act, I'm doing a lot of stuff this year. I'm not, you know.
You in your bag.
Yeah, I am in my bag. If
Okay.
God want to send me a man this year, I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'm not looking for it. But if it comes, it comes. And just on that level of it, on that specific aspect. Other than that, I'm just taking it day by day.
All right.
Honestly.
All right. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can shop with you, how they can support. Let
So
everybody
y'all
know.
can follow me on Instagram at Miah.theceo. You can follow my business page at My Urban Apparel. You can shop with me. My link is in the bio, myurbanapparel.com /myshopify. We did sell out of the No Love Lost collection. So right now we probably gonna go on a short break so that we can get this re-up era back popping and started. So y'all be able to shop my signature tees really soon, probably like in the middle of April, once the spring, like right before the summer drops. Oh, the re-up era. So this is like the year for that. So that's coming up. I have a really dope visual in mind, planned out in my head. I gotta bring it to life. So I'm not gonna say what it will consist of. What I will say, it will consist of my signature t-shirts and my signature colors. So you kind of get an idea of like what it'll look like. But it's gonna be a big visual. Like I'm gonna probably go back home and do something like, you know, something like that, and just make the visual, because from where I started. And after that, stay tuned.
All right. And you gave everybody all your socials, right? Everything you
Yes,
said.
at least for what I feel like you should know. I mean, you don't really need to follow me on Facebook. I'm not really doing nothing on there.
Okay.
Instagram, yeah, Miah.theceo and My Urban Apparel.
All right. And you know where you can find us, Vice_Tribe_ATL on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find us on YouTube at Vice Tribe. Our email, vicetribeatl@gmail.com for business and bookings. You got music, you got a business, you want to share that with us, we'd love to have you. TikTok is Vice Tribe ATL as well.
Oh, you can find me on TikTok too. Make It a Hustle on TikTok.
All right, make it a hustle on TikTok for
Yeah.
Miah. Our Patreon is coming. We're definitely going to have some stuff come in. I'm working on that. I want to have some merch my dang self. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
Follow, like, subscribe, share, retweet. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Vice Tribe, where we teach, reach, inspire, bridge, and empower the community here on WTTR Radio. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come back next week. Saturdays 5 to 7. WTTR Radio, Atlanta's #1 alternative live streaming radio show. Your host, FAJ and P. Until next time, peace. Bye.